Have you ever tried to be someone you're not? I think all of us have at some point in our lives. Maybe as a kid, pretended to be something else. I remember when I was little, I wanted to be a superhero. And then I wanted to be a basketball superstar. And then I wanted to be a ninja. And then the list goes on and on. But honestly, I still want to be a ninja.
Have you seen me at night with my samurai sword? No? Then I'm getting better.
Whenever we're trying to be something we're not, things don't tend to end well. It's like playing dodgeball with a golf ball. It just doesn't end well. So what comes to mind when you hear the word prayer? When you hear the word prayer, different emotions probably come to mind. Do you see yourself as a prayer warrior? Do you see yourself as a person of prayer? If you're like me, there's probably times where you're wondering, am I even doing this right? That I pray and pray, and it seems like it doesn't end well. Like things never change. Seems like other people pray, and everything changes according to what they're praying for. But with me, it doesn't seem to end that way. Or maybe you hear about someone spending hours in prayer, and you think, man, I wish I could do that. I wish I could pray like that, as eloquently as they pray. I try to pray for just a minute, and I end up getting distracted. Well, Scripture is clear that God expects us to pray, but it's not an expectation that comes from a sense of duty or obligation. It's not just another task to check off the list, but prayer, it comes from a relationship. It's the symptom of a relationship. It's the overflow of a relationship with the Father. Think about this. My kids, when they want something, they don't go down the street and ask a stranger. My kids, when they want something, they ask me or their mom, and if they're smart, maybe their grandparents, but kids ask their parents because of the relationship. It's the same with God. In fact, the book of James tells us that we have not because we don't ask. When we do ask, we have the wrong motives. In Romans 12:12, we read, "Rejoice in hope, be patient in tribulation, be constant in prayer." The idea of being constant in prayer is all throughout the Bible. It's clear that God expects us to pray, that comes from a relationship. But the idea of being constantly in prayer is seen in 1 Thessalonians 5, that we're told to pray without ceasing. In Luke 18, Jesus taught the disciples to pray and never give up. In Acts 2, we see the church was devoted to prayer. So when you think about prayer, what comes to mind? Or maybe a better question is, have you made prayer personal? Prayer is personal communication from our relationship with God. Prayer should be personalized. So don't even waste your time looking around the room and thinking, man, I could never pray like that. I could never pray as long as they pray. I will never be like that. God isn't wanting you to be like them. He's wanting you to be like Jesus, to be in love with Jesus, to be constantly thinking about Jesus. So start where you are. Pray like you can today. Can you set an alarm, like Pastor Ernie challenged us, on your watch to go off every hour on the hour and spend a moment in prayer? Then start there. Can you get up a few minutes early and begin your day in the Word and prayer? Then start there. Over time, as your relationship with Jesus grows, your love for Him grows, the time you spend in prayer will grow too. So start where you are today. Make it personal and watch God make all the difference. Love you, church.